The world might feel a bit more chaotic and a bit more divided. It's easy to forget sometimes that there are constants. Your home's still your home, your family's still your family, and all the structures of our society are still there to look after you if you need it.
Here we go. George's resource.
Adult male, code red trauma, 10 minutes.
Activate the helipad.
There's been an explosion on a building site.
Heart rate 200.
Open your eyes, open your eyes.
Imagine having to work here.
Hello, Annie, can I help?
St George's, London.
It's all gonna kick off now.
One of Britain's busiest A&E departments.
Are we ready to roll?
Carry on CPR.
Oh, goodness me, it's all happening, isn't it?
We need to fix that, or you won't survive.
Is it?
A place where life,
Would you say I was fit, Doctor? Honestly, I think I'm quite fit.
love,
You are my everything. I love you, and it's okay.
and loss
Oh, Mum. I'm so sorry.
unfold every single day.
For every bad thing that you see, there is something equally wonderful out there.
Filmed across one 24-hour period, these are the stories of a nation and its health service.
I thought I was going to die.
You're definitely not going to die. You've got too many good doctors and nurses here.
When people experience really significant illness or injuries, we see people pull together, we see relationships get stronger, and we see people reflect on what really is the most important things in their life.
Whatever happens, it's going to be okay.
I love you.
Love you too.
This is how we can embarrass you in years to come, Sammy. Ready? Let's take a close-up. Look at that.
As a parent, your main job is to feed them, nurture them, keep them healthy, keep them safe. There are certain problems, you know, you'd have to deal with as they grow up. Ready? But sometimes something happens and you can't do anything to help them. She's hiding behind the chair, eating all the chocolates off the Christmas tree. You can't always protect them. That makes you feel really helpless. You're not realising the seriousness of it a little bit more now?
I'm not that bad.
Oh, okay. I was really, really worried about Sammy. I felt really desperate. We went to the doctor and they referred us to a special eating disorders department. I had to go and see them every week and have counselling and get weighed.
Okay, sweetie. We are just going to do an ECG on you, if that's okay. There we go. You lie flat for me. Perfect.
Each week, she was losing weight rather than putting weight on. She was really, really pale. She was feeling very faint. She had no energy. She was tired all the time.
Okay, I'm going to print this out, show it to the doctor. Lovely. Just bear with me one moment, okay?
Every time we went, they would check her heart rate just to make sure she was all right. That day, they realised that her heart rate was too low. Is that good or bad that she's gone to the doctor now? They phoned St George's A&E and they said to bring her down straight away. And that's when I started to panic.
Samantha? I'm Zana. I'm one of the children's doctors.
Hello,
Another one
nice
of the
to meet
children's
you.
doctors. Nice to meet you both too. And just to clarify, you're in Springfield in the outpatient
Yes, she's an
program.
outpatient.
And what is your plan at the moment in terms from a dietitian point of view?
Well, this is the problem. She was doing really well, and she was nearly at target.
Great.
She's been restricting a little bit. Last 2 weeks, she's really gone downhill, and she's got to the point now where she's not eating. I don't know. I'm a bit scared, to be honest.
It's probably scary for both of you. When you've been seen in Springfield and they feel that medically they're a bit concerned about you, that's how you come to be here with us. And have you been going to school?
And she's been going to school, but she's been coming home at lunchtime.
Yeah.
Because she's not able to eat in front of her friends at school.
Anorexia nervosa is usually diagnosed in a person with a lower than expected body mass index, accompanied by a preoccupation with weight and size and perception of their own physical appearance.
Do you have a number in terms of how many calories a day you have been eating?
It went from, I don't know, it went to about 500.
I mean, you're both aware, I know that you're an intelligent young person, you're both aware that that's...
She is very intelligent, yeah.
That you need to take in more than that. Do you mind just lying on the bed quickly for me to have a quick look and listen, if that's all right? Now look at your fingers.
What happens to your body when you restrict your eating is that it switches into starvation mode. Your body fat is the first element of your makeup to go, and then your muscle.
Any laxatives or any weight loss tablets or anything like that?
Your heart is a muscle, so you can run into the risk of having irregularities with your heart rate because your body has started to consume itself.
When can I go home?
Wow. What we need to do is blood test, because you've had this period of time where you really haven't been eating very much. When you start eating again, your blood tests can become abnormal, so we will be monitoring that quite closely.
From a medical point of view, most of the young people that present to A&E have got to a point where physically that illness has taken over to such an extent that they are likely to need intensive treatment for their eating disorder. That young person is at really quite a significant risk.
$500 of that, tazocine, and I've written some fluids and stuff. I'll book a chest X-ray now.
Hello, St George's. Yep, go ahead. No. Okay, we'll see you then. Adult male, major trauma, 9 minutes. A 66-year-old man, fall from height, query rib fractures.
A 66-year-old carpenter is being rushed to St George's after falling 10 feet on a building site.
To fall from height, you could break a bone in your skull. You could bleed internally from a perforated organ. Any serious damage has the potential to kill you.
I'd literally just got to work when my manager answered the phone to one of my dad's friends, which I thought was a bit strange. He said that your dad's had a fall at work. My worst fear was that he'd hit his head, broken his legs, or he had spinal injuries. You always think the worst when you hear someone's had an accident.
Ready, steady, slide.
Take hand over and then we'll go for the scoop.
This is Ray 66 at 8:30 this morning, rose on the building site, stood on loose floorboards and fell about 10 foot through roof rafters, landing on concrete. Injuries from top to toe, tenderness and crepitus on his left flank over the 9th and 10th rib, and diffuse tenderness over his abdomen.
Anyone with him?
No.
You just rest your head there, all right? We'll take the weight. Don't move your head around. Just going to examine your top today. Do you know where you are?
Yeah. So, I'm just going to measure you and pop a little collar on, OK?
Can you lift this leg off the bed, sir?
There we go.
Yeah. Good, and down. Can we lift this leg off the bed, sir? And down for me. You can move me inside. I feel everything.
Yeah.
We're going to just do these blood tests now. We'll get you round to scan, OK? All right.
It's a time-critical situation. Externally, you can easily tell if someone's broken their leg or someone's broken their arm.
A CT ready? Yeah, go now. Lovely.
What's a bit more difficult to gather is what's happening internally. And that patient could bleed internally and bleed to death.
Some cold water going into the tube on your arm. How does that feel?
Okay.
You're doing really well, Raymond. I know this is quite scary and overwhelming.
Raymond is undergoing an emergency CT scan after falling from height onto concrete.
Breathe normally.
My dad is the oldest of 4 brothers. My nan always used to joke about having 4 boys and say they were always so much hard work and having girls would be easier. He was quite rebellious when he was growing up. Saw a picture of him when he was really young and he looks like such a hooligan. He was always going out late night drinking, nicking milk. My granddad had to pick them up from the police station one night when they were out joyriding.
Breathe in and hold your breath.
I love the fact that he was the class clown at school and he hasn't really changed since then. He just makes everyone laugh. He's just the life and soul of the party wherever we go.
Right, Raymond, so we're halfway through. I'm just going to connect you up so we can do the injection part.
My mum and dad were about 21 when they met. I think he was blindsided by love. I think it was, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you.
Breathe in and hold your breath.
They got engaged and then got married quite quickly after that. They decided quite quickly that they wanted to have a family. They wanted to share that love and to expand. I think they mutually agreed that they wanted to give children a happy life. But when my parents couldn't conceive, they went to the doctors. My mum's fallopian tubes were blocked. It was definitely heartbreaking.
Steady, steady, slide. Thank you.
They had wanted it for so long. They thought we're not meant to have children.
Would you like to call your wife?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, of course it is.
Hello?
Yeah, I just had an accident at work. I'm okay.
Oh, God, what's wrong?
Nothing. I'm just getting an X-ray just in case I've...
Where are you?
Tooting.
You're tooting?
Yeah, St George's Tooting.
What happened?
Nothing. I just fell over, that's all. It's just a check-up, all right?
All right.
All right, nothing to worry about, all right?
Oh, you sound soaked up to the ears.
No, I've just got something in my back. Over oxygen all.
Oh, you've got oxygen on?
Yeah, just keep me alive. Nah, I'm only joking, all right?
Okay.
All right, love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
I sort of took the children's centre saying you have to bring her, have some kind of medical.
Well, it's a big bump, you know.
It is a big bump.
Marla, don't eat Bunny.
4-year-old Marla has been brought to A&E by her mum and dad after falling and hitting her head at a party.
Do we have Marla? Marla, hello there. Come on through. Nice to meet you. My name's Alex. I'm one of the doctors. Do you want to come and have a seat here for me, if that's all right? So I understand Marla bumped her head. Is that right? She's been at a superhero party today.
It's been a superhero party, hence the outfit. There's a big iron gate to get out of the children's centre and all the kids were pushing on it. I didn't actually see what happened. When I turned around, she was like on her knees with her hands in her head.
So she'd fallen over, and we think that this
she'd
had
fallen,
yeah.
yeah. And then I looked behind her fringe, and it was that
See this big bruise,
much
or
bigger bump than I.
Has she complained of pain anywhere else at all? In her
She
neck?
told me she wouldn't answer any of my questions. She would only answer the doctor's questions. So I don't.
Right. Marla, do you mind if we ask you some questions? Is that okay? No. I like your superhero outfit. Which superhero are you? Supergirl. Very good. So Mummy was just telling me about what happened. I understand you bumped your head on this gate.
It was the school gate.
School gate. Can you show...
Marley bumped it. Marley made me bump it like
that. Okay. Can you show me where you bumped it? Can you show me your bruise? Okay, it's just there. And how do you feel now?
it keeps hurting.
It's a bit sore, is it? Have you got a headache?
No, it's starting hurting.
Yeah. And how's your...
Go down.
You can come down if you want. Do you need some help, or you...
Need some help.
There we go. Should we let you down? There we go. Apart from your bump on your head, do you have any pain anywhere else? Do you have any sore arms or neck or anything like that? You look at the fishes. And
Marla.
fine. So what we'll do is we'll examine her, and then we will go from there, if that's okay.
Come on.
Never worn one of these things before. This is my first time in one of these, like, visit room things. When it's me who's being checked.
14-year-old Sammy suffers with anorexia nervosa. She's been brought to St George's after her heart rate and blood pressure fell to dangerously low levels.
Which salad are you having today?
The one with best calories.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
Sammy was a happy child. She was gorgeous. I love being a parent. It's the hardest thing in the world, but it's the best thing in the world too. Is it nice?
Just salad, please.
Yeah. Sammy got weighed in year 6 and it came back saying that she was at a healthy weight, but it was at the top end of the healthy weight and she wasn't happy with that. That's when she started saying that she was too big, and she'd look back at pictures of herself and say that she looks really chubby, really fat. But she wasn't at all. I thought she looked lovely, and I tried to tell her, you're in a healthy weight, you know, you're fine. You're by no means overweight. She had that in her head. It wouldn't have made any difference what I said to her.
Still feel dizzy or anything? Not right now. When I stand up, I feel dizzy.
If they do keep you in, will you stay here on your own, or would you want me to try and stay here?
They won't keep me in.
It was year 8 that I started seeing her eating patterns change. To begin with, she wanted to lose weight. And instead of just cutting out bad foods, she started cutting out most foods. Cold, isn't it? Are you cold?
I'm freezing.
I didn't realise how bad it was until I realised how thin she was and how ill she looked. Just got to try and eat. Tell me how we can do that, okay? She lost 1.5 stones over 2 months. And that's when I started to panic, and that's when I took her to the doctors. She was diagnosed with anorexia. I felt guilty. I should have realised, because I live in the same house as her. I'm with her all the time. How did I not realise that she wasn't eating? I felt really bad. So we'll get some almond milk and that on the way back, yeah? Or almond milk. Come on, you need to try to eat more, yes? Please?
Anorexia nervosa is a mental illness. It's a particularly challenging disorder to treat. There is a perception that the young person can snap out of it, or if they just eat, then they'll be fine. And it's really not that simple.
Almond milk just goes to waste.
Right, well, what will you have on your cereal then?
I don't know what cereal.
Well, what we have for breakfast then? Brown bread and you can have some toast. With mum.
Brown bread has sugar.
Don't worry about the sugar.
I do
brown
worry
bread with
about the
mum. It's not much sugar.
Yeah, but still
Sam,
sugar.
brown bread is fine. Please have some. What else will you have then?
When your child is restricting their intake and sat in front of you and not eating food, that is an incredibly difficult thing for a parent to go through to see.
And I really thought that he was going to give it a go.
Don't say that. But
Often young people can be engaging in these behaviours for a long period of time without it coming to the attention of the people around them, the people that love them.
So what will you have for breakfast, Sam?
okay, I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
They will hide under bigger clothes and wear baggy things so to hide it because they don't want to be detected. People will take great pains to not show any of that to other people.
Julie, you've got a good telephone voice.
What have I got to say?
Ring a patient and tell her she's got 2 appointments on Tuesday. Thank you very much, appreciate it. Hello there.
Right.
This is Julie from the emergency department.
Doctors are concerned that Raymond may have sustained multiple internal injuries after a fall from height.
Okay, Raymond. Have you got any allergies?
No.
To any medication?
No.
We're gonna give some medication, okay?
Yeah.
I definitely think that my life would have been so much different if I hadn't been brought up by my parents. They were obviously quite nervous when they brought me home, and they knew that I was going to be very mischievous. My dad was very smitten with me.
Just make sure you keep it still, okay? We're looking after you.
Me and my dad, we've always had a really good relationship. I was always by his side. In half terms and school holidays, he'd take me on jobs with him. I was always making cups of teas for the builders to earn a bacon roll from the cafe.
So we understand it's really uncomfortable, but just to protect your leg and spine.
Yeah.
I was never scared going on site with my dad because I knew he'd always protect me and he wouldn't let me go anywhere that wasn't safe. It was always fun. You had to always wear a hard hat and a high-vis jacket, even if you were just standing around. He'd always be like, oh, mind that or watch that. And he's always been the same as I've got older.
Just relax this arm.
Yeah.
We're gonna give some treatment in this arm.
Me and my boyfriend, when our relationship ended, I moved back home. My dad wanted to make sure that everything was okay and I was okay, and was glad that I was home. He is like a superhero. Nothing bothers him. He definitely thinks that he is the protector of us all.
Right.
Try to keep it still like that because you're gonna bend it.
Okay. Cheers.
Sorry about that, Raymond.
That's all right.
He'd always make me feel safe. There's never been a time where I've felt not a part of their family or I've never felt like their daughter. I'm so grateful that they could give me a better life than what I may have had. I think I was about the age of 4 when they told me I was adopted. But it wasn't until I was a bit older that I really understood what had happened.
Radiologists have now completed the initial review of Raymond's CT scan.
Hey.
In terms of his head, looks okay.
Yeah.
In his chest, I can't see anything. He's got lots of free fluid in his abdomen, though.
He has.
In his pelvis, I haven't seen any free air, but it looks associated with bowel.
Yeah.
I mean, you got it around the liver too.
Oh, yeah.
Spleen.
When there's the potential of internal organ injuries, you need to take them seriously. He had a soft abdomen when he was examined.
And then you've got it in the pelvis too.
Yeah, okay, fine. Thank you. If you cause injury to one of these organs, they can potentially bleed, but that blood is still within your abdomen. You could lose a lot of blood, although it's not outwardly obvious. You're right. So we've done a scan from here to here because that's where, you know, life-threatening things can happen. Now, during that scan, they've taken about 2,500 pictures.
Yeah.
So someone has a look through them quickly to see for any obvious big problems, and I've got the report for that. Is you've got lots of fluid in your tummy. We shouldn't have too much fluid in our tummy, and if someone's fallen, it might mean that something's burst inside, okay?
Well, it could have been because of my breakfast.
When I say in your tummy, not in your stomach. I mean literally in your abdomen space, okay? Something might be bleeding internally, but they can't see anything bleeding with the first look, okay? So they're going to have that more in-depth look. Your family know that you're here?
Yeah.
Do you need me to speak to anyone?
No.
All right. If someone has an internal injury, they can lose their whole blood volume within a short space of time. This patient is potentially critically unwell and could deteriorate rapidly.
Oh, did you watch Love Island last night?
No, I didn't watch it.
They've gone to Casa Amor, haven't they?
Oh, have they?
All the girls have, yeah. I love it.
It's awful, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's
a game.
I mean, you don't get anyone in there that's a size 22, do you? I think they should do it with an over 50s one. Could you imagine? We will, wouldn't we, Julie?
What's that?
If they did an over 50s one, we could go in.
Yeah, we could, yeah. Cellulite.
The lot,
Yeah.
everything. Get our bikinis out. And all the men there with their big beer bellies.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Should we have a cup of tea and some bourbons instead, love?
I don't want to do blood tests.
Pardon?
Don't make me do a blood test.
Sammy is awaiting a blood test after her heart rate fell dangerously low earlier today.
She's scared of blood tests.
If I maybe sit this up.
Yeah, let me move forward.
Relax back down.
Doctors are concerned she may have damaged her internal organs because of her severely restricted calorie intake.
I'm just going to see which side looks like the best side.
Sammy didn't think she had an eating disorder at all. She was angry with me. She said that I was just making a big thing out of nothing and that I was blowing it out of all proportion. She didn't need to go to the doctors. The eating disorder just took over her whole head, really.
That one looks better. So what I'll do is I'll leave a can in urine.
Okay.
Just in case we need it to give any urine.
There's a lot of pressure on Sammy's generation to look and act a certain way. And with all social media, weight is a big thing. Looking really skinny is really encouraged.
I don't want to look. Oh, I hate it so much, Mum. Don't look. No, you can't look either.
Okay. I found out about the websites about a month after I'd taken her to the doctor. To begin with, Sammy just told me that the websites were helping her to lose weight, giving her recipes and tips. She played it down. She didn't tell me the extent of it.
Don't look, Mum.
She was looking on YouTube for videos of people saying what they ate in a day and how to hide it from other people.
This one off.
Sammy thought of it as a good thing because she was losing weight. She didn't look at the bigger picture. She didn't realise the negative impact. It was really hard to watch her not eating because she's fading away in front of me and there wasn't anything that I could do to help her.
Okay, so now all I need to do is stick it down. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, thanks a lot, thank you. Right, just go and bring Dad back. Lay back and relax, you're going to be here for ages. I know, but you need to get yourself better then, don't you?
Marla, do you mind if we have a look at your head and just check that everything's okay? So I can see you've got a bit of a bruise there. Do you mind if I just lift your hair up there? Okay. So I'm just going to have a gentle feel. Okay, and just have a look at the rest of your head. Can I get you to look at me? If you look at my face here, keep looking at my nose here. Very good. Keep looking. Very good. Any wobbly teeth in your mouth that weren't wobbly before? Can you open your opening and closing your mouth, okay? Can I shake your hand? Very good, very good, very good. Let's have a feel. Can I feel this one as well? Fine. Yeah, she seems okay. She's very alert, she's active. So I think what we can do is we let you guys go home just to keep a close eye on her for the rest of the day.
Thank you.
That's okay, no worries at all. Very nice to meet you. Take care. There we go. There you guys.
Yeah, you have to follow the doggy. All right, Raymond. I'm just going to clean your mouth a little bit, okay?
Raymond is awaiting the full results of his CT scan after falling from height earlier today.
Sorry. Live on your bed.
My parents have always been open and honest. They had been trying for a family for about 5 years, and then before they started the adoption process, when my biological mum was pregnant with me, I was planned to be put up for adoption. I was then placed into a foster home. I was 18 months when I was adopted. I did used to question as to why my biological parents didn't want to keep me and if I had brothers and sisters.
Let's have a look. Sorry, just having a nosy.
And as I got older, I realised that there was what they call a letterbox contact where my biological parents could write letters to my parents and then send photos of an update of how I was doing.
Not got any allergies, have you?
No.
Okay, I'll get you some more pain relief.
My dad was very supportive of me. Getting in contact with my biological family made me a bit worried and a bit scared for me in case it didn't work out in the way I wanted it to.
Hopefully that might absorb things a little bit better. Let me know if you need anything, all right?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I found out my biological parents don't live far from here. They don't live together, they're separate, they're leading their own lives. And I found out I have a biological brother who's younger.
So I'm just going to do an ultrasound scan, you know, like a pregnant lady scan?
Yeah.
There's going to be cold jelly, okay?
I met my biological brother about 5 years ago. I just couldn't believe how much he looked like me. I think I spent the whole hour and a half talking to him basically in tears, sobbing. He was with my mum for quite a few years. Then he lived with my dad for a bit. And then was fostered when neither of them could look after him.
Hold your breath for a second. No, you can breathe normally.
It was nice to know a bit more about my biological family.
Same on this side, okay?
But it made me realise I'm actually grateful for my adopted parents. I don't think I would have felt as loved as I do now.
It's just a little bit.
Hello, Resus. It's mother and one of the Regis. Yeah. Okay, fine. Thank you. Cheers, bye. Spleen lack. He's got spleen lack.
No.
Raymond.
Hi.
So, I've got a bit more information, still waiting for the full report. Your spleen, which is about here, has got a cut on it. And that's probably why you got this fluid that I mentioned in here, okay?
Is it serious or?
Very serious, basically. Blood's supposed to be circulating around the body, perfusing each of our organs to essentially keep them alive and keep them functioning. When you're bleeding internally, what will happen is blood's not circulating as efficiently as it was prior to that injury. So some of the organs within the body will not be receiving blood. You need to speak to a family member.
Yeah.
You should tell them that, you know, this isn't a simple thing, OK?
Yeah.
If you want me to speak to them, let me know.
Yeah, I'm going to thank you.
The time-critical importance is if you don't stem the bleeding and replace the blood, that part of the body essentially dies.
Do you think you're going to be sick?
Are there any bowls? Let's try and get you straight again.
Surgeons have arrived to assess Raymond's lacerated spleen.
I'm one of the general surgical doctors, so I'm here for your tummy. There's a different surgeon for every part of you. You've definitely injured your spleen. The problem with the spleen is when it bleeds, it really bleeds, and we need to do things quite quickly. We take you to interventional radiology. If they can see anything that's bleeding, they block it off.
Right, right.
All right?
OK.
We're a bit sore here on the left, is that right?
Yeah, it's kind of underneath here.
Raymond's wife and daughter have now arrived at St George's.
Hi, can I help you?
My dad.
Wait, 1 second, I think someone's with it. 1 second. Raymond, I've got your daughters here.
Oh, is she here?
So what have you done?
Hey. Don't
Is that right?
Yeah.
What have you done?
I fell through a bleeding joist. Just got a couple of cracked ribs, I found out now.
Cracked rib on the left-hand side. There's a cut here that's needed some stitches, and the spleen's got 2 cuts to it.
But
It's going to be a few weeks off, if not permanent now.
So how did you do this? You fell through?
Yeah, what happened is I fell down.
Thank you.
As I fell through, my chest hit the joist. But as I fell through, I just automatically bent my knees, done a roll. I couldn't believe it.
He's a stunt man.
Yeah, no, honest. But once I stopped, I couldn't move. That's it. It's just that my ribs hurt, that's the thing.
I owe a lot to my parents. They've given me a wonderful upbringing and they've made me into the person I am today. I've got a much better life than I think I would have had if I hadn't have been adopted.
Okay, so what's happening? They're ready for you, Ed, so I'm going to go around in a minute.
I may not have been born biologically to them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change a thing.
Raymond will now be taken to interventional radiology, where specialists will attempt to stop any internal bleeding.
Were they all right back and time off?
Yeah.
I think patients want to protect their families primarily because they're worried for them. Everything you do is geared towards improving the life for your child.
Okay, thank you very much.
Becoming a parent, I think it helped me become a better doctor. I definitely have more empathy and understanding of the concern that parents have about their children. You just want them to have a healthy, happy life. You just want to keep them safe.
Where can I go and try and ring Dad? Hello, can you hear me? Oh, they were just doing blood tests. It's going to be a while yet. Yeah, she's all right. In a bit of a state. Yeah. All right then.
Hello. Is your mum around?
Yeah, she's just calling my dad out there somewhere. Oh, hi, sorry.
Anorexia nervosa is a mental health problem. So in terms of treatment, it's very important that you treat both the physical and the mental aspects. And in fact, you can't really do one without the other.
I'm not sure if they've explained this to you, but you're going to need to be admitted to our ward here. And the reason for that is because
of how quickly you've lost so much weight and because of how low your calorie restriction has been.
The treatment for an eating disorder is food and nourishment. But when you tell a young person that they're going to be admitted to the hospital and that they're going to eat, that is a very difficult thing for them to hear and accept. Often individuals won't recognise that they've become extremely unwell, which is just a testament to how powerful an illness that it is.
So what we will do is we'll get you a feeding plan here.
Okay, yes.
And then
That's good, that's really good. Why can't I go home and eat? Because they're going to help you here.
Because we need to help you from all angles.
Yeah.
The fact that you want to do it is amazing, and that's really, really important.
Yeah, just I've never come across it before, and it's
a difficult one to beat, but you can absolutely 100% do it.
Yeah. It's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. You're going to get help now. This is what you need.
The problem with it, Sammy, is that level of restriction over that period of time is actually really hard on your body.
I don't think she realises the seriousness of the situation. All right,
Okay,
thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank
It's nice
you.
meeting you both.
Thanks, you too. Oh, this is what you need, baby. Oh, this is what you need. They're going to help you and they're going to make it better. No, it's scary. No, I won't leave you on your own. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be okay.
Eating disorders are increasing in frequency, and the children affected by them are becoming younger. There's probably many different reasons for why, really not just one thing. I think there's historically always been quite a lot of pressure on women, how they behave and how they look. I would actually say that now it's extending to young men as well. You know, people are on their phones all day, every day, bombarded with images all of the time. You just have to look at things like Love Island and Instagram. And it's quite difficult as an adult to take those images at face value for what they are, let alone if you're a child who's sort of trying to model themselves upon the people that they come across and the people that they see.
You'll be okay. I want you to come home too, so you have to get yourself better, all right? Yeah? That's good.
I don't want to see it. I don't think this would happen.
Now, do you realise how serious it is? Right?
I'm sorry.
Mum, don't sorry. This is a good thing, Sam. I know you don't see it now, but this is good. It's going to help you. All right?
I think whenever you come across a young person that is going through a difficult time, you just kind of want to show them a snapshot of their future and how great their life can be.
Okay, you take that bag.
There are so many other beautiful, wonderful things that you can be doing that you're missing out on because you're consumed by this single element of your life, and I think that's the thing that's really difficult for people to deal with.
I honestly don't think my dad realised how bad the accident was. I genuinely think he thought he was coming out that day. It was heartbreaking because I'd never seen him that bad before. He was in a lot of pain. He was unable to move. He could barely walk. I always thought he can deal with everything.
I was lucky where my injuries could have been worse, but wasn't.
What did your family mean to you?
Oh, everything. Was very lucky to get Ella, and As far as we're concerned, we're just a normal family.
The first night she was in St George's, her heart rate went really, really low to the point that all the alarms went off. They all came running in and had to call a doctor, and they were thinking that they would have to give her CPR. And that's when she realised what she was doing to her body. That's when she realised that she could kill herself.
Before I was diagnosed with anorexia, I just thought it meant you didn't eat and you was underweight, but there's so much more to it. Even though I'm kind of in the recovery stage, I still look at food as calories sometimes and not as energy or nourishment. I want a life where I don't look at food and see calories, where I can go and eat pizza with my friends, and that sounds much better than being anorexic.